I believe that when President Trump was saved in Butler, he was saved so that he could save the world. And when he said he thought I could help him, I knew I didn't have a choice. So I'm proud to announce that I'm going to be running for the 6th Congressional District of the state of Florida. Whether it's fighting inflation to make America affordable again, closing the border to make America safe again, or standing up for Israel and standing up to China, I'm ready to go.
Yesterday, the Trump-endorsed candidate that you just heard from, who is running to fill a Florida House seat, decided it was a great idea to issue a heinous, disgusting threat to Muslim lawmakers who are currently serving in Congress. So the person you heard from is Randy Fine, and he is a Republican hoping to take the seat of Mike Waltz, who Trump actually selected as his national security advisor. So that seat is empty. Now there's going to be a special election to fill that seat. And in response to an endorsement tweet from the Republican Jewish Coalition, Randy Fine wrote this: "The Hebrew hammer is coming. Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar might consider leaving before I get there." And then critically, this is the important part, #bombs away. Now, Congresswoman Tlaib is the only Palestinian American in Congress. Both women have, in fact, been highly critical of how Israel has been prosecuting the war in Gaza. And they should be, especially because of the absolute carnage that's been taking place in Gaza. 45,000 people have been killed. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for members of the Israeli government, including their Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. They have been using starvation as a tool of war in Gaza. And so I commend any lawmaker, whether they're on the right or the left, for calling out what our ally Israel is doing. The fact that they keep committing war crimes, the fact that they do not respect international laws whatsoever. These are things that are easy to look into, easy to find evidence of. And for the mere fact that these two women happen to be Muslim, for the mere fact that they have the audacity to call out the brutality of the current Israeli government, that's led to a lot of targeting, a lot of harassment, and in this case, a threat from someone who's hoping to be a sitting member of Congress. And look, he's made a slew of offensive remarks. He wrote, here's an example. So when a Turkish American activist was killed by Israeli forces in the West Bank earlier this year, Fine wrote in a post on X, "Throw rocks, get shot. One less Muslim terrorist fire away." She was an American citizen. She was an American citizen. In 2019, Fine referred to a Jewish constituent who defended a forum titled Palestine/Israel, opening the dialogue, as Judenrant, a term referring to Jews who collaborated with Nazis during the Holocaust. So look, neither Rashida Tlaib nor Ilhan Omar have responded to the threats or the taunts. Unsurprisingly, this isn't the first time Fine has made subtly violent threats. I'll give you an example from 2022 when he posted, "I have news for the embarrassment that claims to be our president. Try to take our guns and you'll learn why the Second Amendment was written in the first place," essentially threatening to shoot the president. And nonetheless, he already has the backing of tons of congressional Republicans, including Rick Scott, Byron Donalds, and Mike Johnson. So after Trump urged Fine to run for this congressional seat, he responded with this kissassery. "Mr. President, God saved you on that day in Butler so that you could save the world. It would be the honor of my life to be one of your foot soldiers." Look, that comment is fine. You know, he's honored by Trump endorsing him, and I'm not surprised that he would feel that way. But, you know, part of the reason why our country has felt so dysfunctional over the last few decades is because we have members of Congress who aren't really interested in serving the people and are more interested in carrying out their hateful thoughts, airing out their hateful thoughts, in this case, their bigotry, toward Muslim members of Congress like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, they care about that way more than serving the people, serving the American people. Because if you notice from the statements that we've read from him so far, there's been nothing about what he intends to do to better the lives of the Americans in the district that he is running to serve. And I think that's a huge problem. It's very likely that a Republican is going to get elected into that seat. My problem isn't that it's going to be a Republican. My problem is that this is a Republican who has no interest in working with members of Congress to pass important legislation to improve everyone's lives. He is so consumed and overwhelmed by his own hatred of Muslims in this case that that's what he's campaigning on. And I think that's pathetic. I think it's so incredibly lame. This is not a person who's serious about looking out for us, not serious about looking out for his own potential constituents in the district that he's running in. And I hope that the voters in that district think long and hard about what they want out of their representative. Do they want this? Like, does it make their lives better to see a guy rolling around in mud saying disgusting, hateful things? Or do they want someone who's actually serious about the job, a nuanced thinker who wants to carry out good policies? Just something to think about.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below, because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.